What's going on, coolers? Welcome back to Blaugrana Zone, your destination for all things Football Club Barcelona, UCL Knights at the Camp Nou. We are so back, bro. We are so back. The vibes are immaculate in the arena. Spotify Camp Nou, the lights are the brightest. Unfortunately, we couldn't do it when the lights were brightest against Chelsea. I feel like I'm going to be bringing that up often. I'm not going to lie. Because it's just so annoying that we lose to Chelsea and now we're on like a 4 or 5 game unbeaten streak. Chelsea beat us. They haven't won a game since. Like, it's just insane, these inconsistencies, right? But we've been seeing it all year. We saw it earlier this year with Atletico Madrid beating Real Madrid beating us. We beat Atletico Madrid. It's this weird chain, but honestly, it makes football that much more fun, that much more watchable. That being said, today we had the game against Frankfurt, UCL game, and here's how we lined up. In the goal, we had Joan Garcia. From right to left, we had Jules Kounde, Pau Cubarsí, Gerard Martin, Alejandro Balde. I've been talking a lot about that Gerard Martin, Cubarsí pairing. I've been really enjoying watching them. They've been cooking. Gerard Martin, you can tell he's watched a lot of film. He's beyond his years, even though he's 21. So, like, he should be this good. He is the older one between him and Pau Cubarsí, even though I think Cubarsí has registered a lot more minutes with the first team than Gerard Martin has. We had Eric Garcia and Pedri as the double pivots. We had Fermin Lopez at the cam. And at the top, we had Lamine Yamal, Robert Lewandowski, and Rafinha. I think the only difference here between this squad and the one from the weekend was the addition of Rooney Bargi and Marcus Rashford. I want to say, and Ferran. Yeah, Lewandowski, instead of Lewandowski, we had Ferran. Instead of Firmino, we had Rooney. Instead of Rafinha, we had Marcus Rashford. But this was perfect. I think this played to all of our strengths, all of our offensive strengths, anyways, because right away, Barcelona have been doing this in the last, let's say, 3 or 4 games, where we concede in the first 10 minutes, bro, doing the stupidest things, leaving gaps in our defense. First, we get dispossessed, and this dude, what's his name? Knopf, or just Knopf, right? He gets a very nice pass from Nathaniel Brown, who, of course, surprise, surprise, linked to Real Madrid. Whatever. Gerard Martin tries to clear it out. He can't reach it in time. I don't blame him. Alejandro Balde tries to stay with Knopf, but he just ultimately can't, and he finishes a very clean goal, sure. But I think it's a fluke because we gave away the ball in order for them to make that pass, and then we're not set defensively. That's why Gerard Martin was running back the way he was. Like, he was 2 steps behind because we were disjolted at that moment. But this can't happen against Frankfurt. It can't happen against anybody. Frankfurt, for crying out loud, is not a top team in Germany. So the fact that we went down that early already set my mood off because this, like I've said this plenty of times, this is not Barca from last year. This is not remontada Barca where we need to go down against every team because we're not sure that we could come back like we did last year. Last year we had a much stronger. We leaned on our defense, and this year we can't do that. At least there are parts of the game where we can. There are parts of the game where we can't. And early in the game, we can tell that we can't. And it's been a pattern that's been going on. I'm going to predict the next game, we will concede in the first 15 minutes, even though we will go on to win, just like this game. But we concede early. So many chances that we had. I think Rafinha had a couple of chances that were offside. Very surprising for Rafinha. He scored. I think, no, he assisted Lewandowski, and it was offside. I think Rafinha he has to be our best player. Even when he doesn't score or assist, he's our best player because he's going to bring our mindset. He's going to bring us into the game even when we're down. This is no longer the Barca that puts their head down when we go down 1 and then it just gets from bad to worse. This is a Barca team that's going to climb, claw, fight to the win. That's exactly what we did when Marcus Rashford put in a clean cross to Jules Kounde for the header. I'm so happy for Jules Kounde that he can still score like this because last season we saw his connection with Lamine and he was getting goals kind of at will, goals and assists, right? And it's just good to see that he can still do that because he's been falling off. We've been seeing Real Madrid fans clown him. We've been seeing fans from all soccer clown him, all football clown Koundé. So it was good to see him find the other side of a Rashford cross, a very clean Rashford cross, to find a goal. And Kounde scores 2 goals in like 3 minutes. Because then right back again, Kounde. It seemed like Lamine crossed it and didn't even look. He was like, bro, Kounde is there somewhere. Kounde will find it. It's like when people pass a lob to LeBron. You just throw it up there. LeBron gonna be there somewhere. He gonna dunk it. So it Lamine's cross looked just like that. It was a beautiful cross, but you could tell he was just like, I'm gonna toss it up, and Kounde's gonna find it. Because Kounde noticed something that I also noticed it a little earlier in this game, is that when we cross the ball, Frankfurt is not looking to intercept the cross. They're looking, because they know that we're not going to be able to control it right away. They're looking to get us off balance, fighting for control of the ball after the fact. So Kounde is like, bet, they're not gonna fight in the air. I'm gonna fight in the air. And as soon as they realized that from Kounde, it was too late. He had already scored 2. Maybe they're trying to fight in the air after that, but it was a done deal after that. Nobody would score anymore. It would end 2-1. I definitely think that Lamine could have been doing much more. I don't think that there's much hype behind this Nathaniel Brown left back for Frankfurt. I think it's going to be... This might be another player that, like, we didn't think that Carreras was getting scouted by Real Madrid last year in the Benfica games, but he high-key was. And I think this could be the exact same thing where, okay, he had a couple good plays on Lamine and now they want to scout him. They want to maybe bring him to Madrid. But this is barbecue chicken for Lamine, please. Like, I think Lamine had a pretty good game. Maybe not amazing by his standards because we want him to score. We want him to assist. We want him to be flashy. But he had strokes of greatness, right? Where he has 2-3 defenders on him. He finds the clean pass. It's just that it wasn't resulting in finishes from our strikers, right? Lewandowski wasn't getting anything. Later in the game, Ferran wasn't getting anything. It turned into a deadlock very, very early in the game because, well, after the first half, we ended 1-0, right? And then Kounde scores those 2 goals, and after that, there was no more goals. There was opportunities that we would sky them, Frankfurt would sky them, wasted by both teams. But we were obviously lucky enough to get away with 2-1 because 2-1 game is still pretty close. We're one bad kick, one defensive mishap away from a tie game or losing points. So obviously there's a lot of work to be done. We need to work defensively. We need to work offensively. We need to be able to finish our passes, bro. And we need to finish our opportunities. When we have these clean opportunities, we can't let it go to waste. That's why it was so amazing when Pedri got 2 assists a couple games ago. Because usually Pedri's assists, we rocket them. We waste them. We throw them in the garbage, bro. So although I'm happy that we got this result, we got this W, more work needs to put in because Frankfurt shouldn't have had a chance at our home, right? And I really don't love that Joan Garcia can't even register clean sheets because of mistakes that our defense is making, where we're not set up, where we're lackadaisical getting back on defense. Yeah, Frankfurt shouldn't have stood a chance. But obviously, Jules Kounde was the MVP of this match. I want to know who your guys' MVP was. I honestly agree with Kounde because I think he could lock down defensively. But when he has those dumb moments, bro, it's like, I just want to grab him like by the hair and just like fling him off a building, bro. Because it's like, how could you be so good? And then other moments, bro, it's like you have no brain. But I'm very happy with this result. I want to know what you guys are thinking in those comments. Let me know what you guys think of our team. How did we do tactically? I really like Gerard Martin as left center back. I have huge concerns for Araujo. I think in the weekend we're going to look towards Osasuna. I think that we're going to line up just like this. I could definitely see Rashford making a cameo appearance instead of Rafinha because I think Flick wants to get comfortable rotating them just to not put that much pressure on Rafinha, not too much weight on him because I think he could get very easily re-injured. Lamine, when he came off, he was very frustrated, and Flick said after the game that he likes that mentality. He wants his players to want more from themselves, right? It sounded like he was going off like CR7 would do. I'd throw water bottles at the water boy, fucking throw his towel. Like, no, Lamine was kind of just like frustrated with himself, but he wasn't really sure how to express it. And I think even Hansi Flick coming out and being like, hey, like that's a mentality that we like. We want our players to demand 100% from themselves. If he wasn't happy with this performance, great. We'll see an even better one from him on Saturday or Sunday, whenever we play against Osasuna. It's on the 13th. And I think that that's just something that we have to appreciate as fans. We have to appreciate that our stars want, even though we're winning, he wants us to be winning by more, and he wants to be the protagonist. So we have to be grateful that we even have somebody that wants the pressure of being the protagonist at Barcelona. So let me know what you guys think. How are we going to line up against Osasuna? Is Gerard Martin here to stay? I definitely think Gerard Martini is here to stay. So happy with this result. Let me know what you guys think your man of the match was. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And as always, VISCA Barça.